Hi guys, it's Dill again. Apologies for the rough start and the sudden ending to my last video. It wasn't like that when I made it, but I had to trim it because it was over 15 minutes long, which is probably too long for me to be talking anyway. So although I've got a fair bit to say again, I'm going to try and keep it short. I want to talk to you about another aspect of things that I've been struggling with, which is intense, unwanted and personally unacceptable thoughts, on the to the point where they're obsessive. I first experienced them a few years back, probably about 3 years ago now, and I spoke to my psychiatrist. I was in hospital at the time, in a psychiatric hospital, and I spoke to my psychiatrist, and he obviously thought that I was capable of doing these sort of things, which really upset me and hurt me, because I thought he knew me better than that. He'd known me since I was 16, and he didn't recognise that these thoughts were obsessions rather than thoughts with intent. But neither did I. Well, I knew that I never wanted to act on them. I knew that I never had any intent to act on them, but I didn't know that the way to describe them would be obsessions. So I just basically said what these thoughts were, and which I don't really feel comfortable explaining exactly with them particular thoughts, but it ended up causing a massive kind of hoo-ha, if you like. Excuse me. And it all kind of kicked off, and it just went terribly wrong. And then when I was next, so I just kind of forgot about, I didn't forget about it, but I just made out that everything had disappeared and I didn't speak about it again. When I was next admitted, I was admitted to the same ward again, all the same nurses and stuff, and I tried to speak to one of the nurses, and I said, "You remember that stuff that was going on last time and that lot?" And she said, "Don't start talking about that again. You know how much trouble you caused last time." Which didn't really go down too well with me, to be honest, because it still left me struggling. They obviously all thought that I wanted to carry out these things that I was thinking, even though I would have done anything to get rid of them thoughts. When I got the thoughts, I'd be sick to my stomach, and I'd be shaking, and I'd just go into repeated panic attacks and stuff, and it was just horrible. But I don't know, maybe they must have thought that I had intent to carry out these thoughts, which is completely wrong. But anyway, I didn't talk about it until late last year. So this was 3 years ago when this happened, about that anyway. And actually might be just over 3 years ago. And then last year, the thoughts have never gone away, but last year they came back properly with a vengeance, and it was getting to the point where I just couldn't cope. My cat, sorry, where I just couldn't cope, and I couldn't carry on any longer with them thoughts in my head. I'm holding her so she don't jump up and knock my phone over, and I decided that I was going to have to speak to my social worker, because my CPM was off sick. And even though she's there to help me with practical stuff, she helps me with my emotional stuff as well, and this sort of thing. While my CPN's off sick, and I really appreciate it. She's been great. Anyway, I told her, first of all, I went in and I was shaking, and she commented on the fact that I was shaking, and I tried to explain to her that I was having these thoughts. And last time I tried to speak about it, I told my previous psychiatrist, and he took it completely the wrong way and thought I had intent, and it was just really scary, and it all kicked off, and then she tried reassured me and stuff, and I went on and explained what these thoughts were, and she's like a little baby, you can just hold her in your arms. She reassured me. I spoke to her for about an hour and a half, I think it was, and she was great, my social worker, reassuring me and stuff, and she said she'll speak to my psychiatrist, which is a different one at the moment, and she did. And then when I next saw my psychiatrist, I mentioned it, I managed to bring it up, and he reassured me that he knew that I had no intent to carry out these thoughts. And I'd told my social worker that I think that from research on the internet, I didn't accidentally come across it. I searched, why am I having such and such thoughts, and it came up with OCD. And what I didn't realise at the time was when I got these thoughts, I'd count in my head. Either I'd count things I could see, or I'd just count to a number that felt safe, and things like that. Or when I was reading, to stop the thoughts coming into my head, I'd keep rereading what I've read. Like, it might be the last couple of words, or the last sentence, or then I might have to read the whole paragraph again, and it'll take me ages, twice, maybe 3 times as long just to read a page of a book. I used to be able to read a whole book in the night if I stayed up all night, but now, it takes me forever to read, and it's put me off reading, and I love reading. But now the thoughts are kind of radiating further even, and it's got to the stage now where I'm really worried about. I walk down the street and I'm worried, what if I just attack someone that walks past me, or what if they attack me, and what if they just start beating me up, or what if they try and rape me, or what if what if they know where I live, they look at me and they know where I live, and then they know that I'm not in, and they go to my house and they do something to my house, and it hurts, or they go in and they hurt my cats, and the thought just terrifies me. I've been really, really struggling at night, which is why at 3:25 in the morning today, I'm making this video, because I haven't yet taken my quetiapine, because I can't sleep at night. So I'll probably take my quetiapine in about an hour, so by the time I fall asleep, it's basically morning, proper morning, not an ungodly hour, and then by the time by the time I fall asleep, and I'll probably sleep most of tomorrow, but I'd rather sleep during the day than I would at night, and it's just, I'm just terrified that when I go to bed, any noise that I hear, or if a car pulls up outside, because I live on quite a quiet street, I'm just terrified that someone's coming after me, and they're going to hurt my cats, or hurt my neighbour that lives below me, or hurt me, or set my house on fire, or do something else to my house. I can't bring myself to say the words, because I'm scared that someone will watch this video and then they'll know where I live, and then they'll do it. So I can't, but basically, destroying my house, and it's just horrible. The past 2 nights, even though I've had a mate stop around for a week, the past 2 nights I've slept on the settee, because I just can't bear to sleep in my bedroom, and there was a stage a while back where I just needed to be as low down as possible, so that if anyone went past outside, they couldn't see me, which they can't anyway because I live upstairs, and I'd sleep on my bedroom floor, just put a blanket down and then cover myself in a blanket and stuff, and so I'd sleep on the floor even though I've got a perfectly good bed. I have worries as well that I don't deserve the things that I've got. I don't deserve to have a flat that I've got. I don't deserve to be able to have fresh clean clothes on every day, or and just basic necessities that people have nowadays. I feel I don't deserve them. There's people out there that haven't even got a bed and haven't got the luxury of a quilt and pillows and stuff, and yet I've got loads of pillows and I've got quilts, and I just don't feel that I deserve it, and I don't really know why. But it's getting to the stage now where it's ruining everything. I do go out and do my shopping and stuff, but I'm full of fear the whole time, because I'm scared that when I walk back around the corner or onto my street, that I'm going to see that my house is on fire or something. And my main worry, my house, there's no valuables in here, and it's my cats that I'm worried about. They can't come to town with me every time I go, and if anything happens to my cats, I'll be devastated. This is Darcy, by the way. Mowgli's asleep on the bed. And more recently, the past month or so, I'm just going to check how long this has been on. Go away with me. Right, 5 minutes. I've got left. More recently, before I wasn't really bothered about housework and stuff. I didn't care if I had loads of pots or loads of washing, and it would need hoovering and stuff like that. But now I'm beginning to get anxiety if I don't do them things. if there's pots in the sink, then I feel really anxious that something bad's going to happen. You know, I feel if I don't have all my washing done, and you know, if you know, I don't mind if there's a bit of washing and I can put it in the washing machine ready to be washed, but I can't have it lying around anywhere, which used to never bother me. Because what if I don't put it in the washing machine, it's lying around? What if I don't know, spontaneously combust or something? You know, I can smile, but it's a real fear, and I don't even know if that's even possible. But I saw a program about it years and years ago, and ever since then, it's been a major worry of mine. But it terrifies me. I'm in a high state of anxiety all the time, and it's like my organising has got a lot worse. I've always, you know, liked to organise things, but now all my DVDs have to be in alphabetical order. All my paperwork has to be in different sections: rent, council tax, TV, everything like that. And each group of stuff has to be in date order, and then all the groups together have to be in alphabetical order in my folder. And I just can't cope if they're not. I get so anxious and go into panic attacks and stuff, and it's just horrible. It's like in my kitchen, all the tins have to be, you know, beans, vegetable soup, tomato soup, whatever, all in their lines, all facing the front, and it's just getting ridiculous. You know, in my freezer, certain things go in certain drawers, same in my fridge, and I never ever used to be like that. Things never bothered me, never crossed my mind, but now and it wouldn't bother me if it was just, that's how I liked things, but it's the fact that I get such anxiety if I don't do them. And I'm just worried, you know, this never used to be the case. It's only that side of things that's only come on about since a month ago. So what if things continue to get worse? You know, what do I do then? You know, I don't really do a lot with my day. In fact, I don't really do anything with my day at the minute. So it doesn't stop me from doing things as such. But what about when I do find something else to do, volunteer work or college or something like that, and I can't because I have to keep doing these things. So I'm seeing my psychiatrist I'm just checking the time again, on the 21st of this month, 21st January, and I'm going to ask him point blank whether I have OCD, because when I saw him last time, he mentioned about switching my venlafaxine to fluoxetine, and he said that for this sort of problem, 60 milligrams is the dose, and that's 60 to 80 milligrams is the dose for OCD. And I think my social worker must have mentioned to him that I said to her that I think I have OCD. But for some reason, my psychiatrists that I've had have never liked to say, yes, you have this. You know, they put it on paper, but they won't actually tell me. But I want him to tell me because I can't carry on not knowing whether I've got it or not. Although I think I've got a lot of symptoms, I need a professional to tell me yes or no, basically, to whether I've got it. So I'm going to do another update after. I'll probably do another one before then actually, but I'm going to do another proper update about this after I've seen my psychiatrist and let you know what's been said. I'm going to have to end the video here because it can't be longer than 15 minutes, and I've been rambling really quickly for that long now. You can see Darcy's face now. This is Darcy. Say hello, Darcy. And I'll leave it here, and for those of you that are struggling out there, just keep strong and you will get through it, I promise. And just hang on in there. Thanks for listening. Bye.